At the height of the Free Navy conflict in the mid-24th century, the outerplanetary Free Navy faction bombarded the inner planets with 248 asteroid attacks staged and carried out by retrofitted utility ships in the outer orbits over a 2-year period, unfolding during the Expanse Seasons 5 and 6, with the in-universe timeline years of 2356 through 2358 for this video expedition of the stealth asteroid attacks on Earth. Following the end of the system-wide UN-MCR war between the United Nations of Earth Luna and Mars Congressional Republic, spawning a year-long interplanetary economic recession, separatist Free Navy forces have quietly consolidated power in the outer orbits, filling the power vacuum in wake of the depleted naval forces that of Earth and Mars. As an aside, for a complete breakdown of the entire UN-MCR conflict, you can review the 5-part series, which I will link to at the end. The former Cold War adversaries that of Earth and Mars formed a post-conflict treaty coalition attempting to regulate and study the galaxy-spanning wormhole network with over 1,300 habitable worlds connected through the Ring Space Transit System, materializing out of the newly discovered extrasolar protomolecule technology from an extinct civilization a billion years prior. By the end of Season 4, Marco Inaro's Free Navy faction has been supplied with covert military arms by a rogue Martian fleet. Spanning the better part of a year, both outerplanetary militant factions harvested 9 heavy iron core rocks from abandoned asteroid mining fields ranging in size from 20 to 35 meters. Utilizing experienced belter ice hoppers equipped with advanced Martian technology covering the rocks in a stealth composite layer, thus serving a multi-role purpose of evading the interplanetary network of asteroid spotters and providing heat protection used during controlled atmospheric descents on stealth gunships. This allowed for smaller 20-meter asteroids to survive hard orbit entry burns long enough for a 200-kiloton surface impact detonation. The advanced materials used to conceal the large asteroids was provided by the rogue Martian Third Fleet. MCRN Command Admiral Duarte's covert logistical supply chain with intelligence-level clearance enabled the rogue officers access to alter and delete ordnance inventories from top-secret Mars Republic weapons facilities. All 9 stealth rocks will take 8 months to reach Earth from the asteroid belt, as the stealth composite layer additionally generates a sensor-dampening particle field, creating a concentrated solar sail effect, bending the sun's radiation and generating a small amount of constant acceleration designed for reaction mass efficiency when attached to the hulls of stealth warships. This enabled the asteroids to navigate through the precision orbit windows for accurate targeting vectors. 20 belter frigates and escort tenders were positioned and prepped in various asteroid belt orbits to launch the stealth rocks in synchronized fusion drive acceleration shoves, released with grapple clamps on a sunward velocity directed by specialized tracking ships equipped with long-range Martian spotter arrays for precision guidance and targeting solutions in synchronized intervals over a 4-day launch cycle, reaching the sun in just under 6 months. For a slingshot gravity-assisted maneuver, looping the asteroids beltward for the final 2-month transit to Earth's gravity well targeting destinations. At the end of Season 4, during 2355.245, the Free Navy positioned their tow frigates at staging points in the asteroid belt to prep the rocks with the stealth layers 5 days before maneuvering towards the deployment launch window. For the better part of a year, Claish Ashford's OPA task group had been hunting Marco's movements throughout the outer planets when his command ship Tynan located the launch frigate near the Hungarian asteroid field in the midst of the ship administering the stealth composite layer around the 21 megaton rock. In the following raid, the Tynan disabled Marco's frigate, and during the boarding action, the Ghost Knife himself was 1 heartbeat away from neutralizing the leader of the Free Navy's reign. Before Ashford met his end in the airlock, he was able to record Marco's bravado that would 9 months later play a crucial role in alerting Earth, and the ship-to-ship combat in of itself would set in motion a series of events that likely saved millions of lives and averted the UN government from completely collapsing. Marco's rock number 9 was the largest at 32 meters, covered in a double layer of heat-resistant stealth composites, yielding a massive 21 megaton detonation on Earth, planned as the first strike asteroid. The Titan's failed raid delayed Marco's frigate one full day so the escort tender could rendezvous, dock, reboot, and repair the systems and transfer over crew replacements before the ship went under thrust to the launch coordinates, maintaining the deployment window's precise time frame in less than 3 days. Thus, the frigate had to establish a 105% hard burn and switch the launch order from first to last, making the spotter ship's crew recalculate and program the precise trajectory and guidance calculations in under 70 hours that had previously been prepared 30 days in advance. Admiral Duarte's science advisor on board the Azura Dragon recommended to scrub the launch, but Inaros refused as the risk was worth the propaganda reward, being crowned as the title for the largest rock to hit Earth. Year 2355, day 250. All 9 stealth rocks were launched in staggered intervals from strategic locations throughout the asteroid belt along target vectors to avoid detection, plotted for impacts over multiple days in just over 8 months' time after achieving maximum velocity accelerated by the sun's immense gravitational field. 173 days later, Rock 9 was off a minute fraction of a second, narrowly treading the solar gravitational window, breaking apart the asteroid and flinging the debris field towards the second planetary orbit, on course to fall into the Venetian atmosphere a month later. Earth's Sentinel spotter satellites detected the rock's fragments shredded apart from its covert shell, now resonating anomalous signatures, causing the UN to dispatch the science ship Hisami to study and ascertain the rogue object's origin. A Free Navy patrol skiff retrofitted with drive signature mass technology intercepted the research ship around Venus and obtaining the data cores while programming the Hisami to collide with the debris, preventing the science team from discovering the stealth composite fragmentations that would alert the United Nations to the stealth asteroid threats that are now 35 days from reaching Earth's orbit. The inner orbits contain an extensive network of asteroid spotter UN Sentinel satellites. However, these systems lack the capacity of detecting stealth signature fields. The Watchtower intelligence surveillance grid, effective at locating this shadow technology, are facing beltwards towards Mars due to the planet's recent upsurge in military arms trafficking, and the MCRN as the only viable solar system entity capable of deploying stealth technology against Earth. Despite the recently formed Earth-Mars coalition, both governments remain unaware of the rogue MCRN military element instrumental in the forthcoming bombardment of Earth. However, one element inside the UN was actively investigating Free Navy activity, that of Marco Inaros. Secretary Avasarala, Director of Colonial Security, and UNN Home Fleet Admiral Delgado on Luna commissioned an independent study into the events around Venus, deciphering the likelihood of stealth asteroid fragments and a Free Navy patrol ship responsible for the science vessel's destruction above Venus. Additionally, former Martian service members contracted as UN operatives by Avasarala infiltrated the MCR's underground arms trading networks, discovering a ring of stolen stealth material inventories. Yet, the smoking gun evidence needed to prove their case to the Security Council surfaced from an unlikely source. A Belter privateer faction came upon Ashford's derelict ship, the Tynan, during a salvage operation, relaying the Marco asteroid audio file to Fred Johnson on Tycho Station, who in turn transmitted the recording to Christian Avasarala at Lovell Naval Station on Luna. Mere hours before Rock Number 1 completed the 241-day journey for an interplanetary rendezvous that would forever alter the state of Earth and that of the solar system. Day 126 in the year 2356, the first 23-meteor stealth asteroid enters the Earth's atmosphere, successfully avoiding burnup on re-entry through shedding the stealth composite heat dampener layers, impacting the surface, unleashing a 250 kiloton detonation off the west coast of Dakar in the North African Trade Zone, destroying the population center while spreading a tsunami across the Atlantic Ocean, flooding seaboard cities in North and South America. On Mars, the MCR Parliament was in session, and coinciding with the first asteroid strike on Earth, a large explosion decimated the building, shocking the patriotic population networks of the military-based societal structure. Over the next 24 hours, planet-wide emergency response efforts were mobilized as military and civilian terracom links became flooded with zettabyte traffic, as Cabinet member Abasarala and Admiral Delgado were powerless to contact the Secretary General and security staffs, as officials reported the impact was caused by a rogue asteroid, leaving planetary defenses still unaware of the attack threats. On day 2, the second stealth asteroid struck the North American Trade Zone just northwest of Philadelphia with a similar magnitude of devastation. At this point, it was generally understood that the planet was under attack, as UN command and control officials ran diagnostics on their asteroid spotter network systems, as the stealth factor remained unknown. Into the third day, Abasarala finally raised the Secretary General through a back-channel connection on board UN-1 that was now airborne above India. Intern SATCOM defenses retasked the Watchtower surveillance satellites to link with the asteroid spotters, triangulating orbital vectors to scan for large mass stealth signature inbound objects. Shortly after the order was relayed, the third rock detonated in the Bay of Bengal, unleashing a 500 kiloton shockwave, the largest so far, shredding apart UN-1 in the stratosphere, eliminating Earth's security-in-chief along with her command staff that was on board the shuttle. After 3 standard Earth days of the bombardment, orbit defense grids got a fix on the fourth stealth asteroid descending towards the western Pacific Rim off the North American Trade Zone coast, destroying the rock with planetary railguns, followed by a spread of 8 torpedoes from a defense ship to neutralize the fragments. Through day 5, the UN-linked defense networks eliminated the larger megaton impact asteroids 6 and 8 as a final 1 and 5 megaton juggernaut strayed off the target vectors, with both missing Earth. The initial estimates listed the casualties in the millions, with multiple population zones leveled and a dozen more sustaining widespread damages affecting the biosphere on a global scale. Yet the UN planetary government and territory provincial systems remained intact, along with the military's chain of command, that could have resulted substantially different had a series of events varied ever so slightly, as mentioned earlier in this video. Had Claes Ashford commanding the Tynan been a few more hours behind the Free Navy's asteroid frigate, allowing the unimpeded launch of the 21 megaton Rock 9, things in all likelihood would have played out catastrophically worse on Earth and the surrounding areas. In the midst of Earth's bombardment, a Free Navy strike team and rogue Martian operatives raided Tycho Station, seizing the last known protomolecule sample that Marco and Aros leveraged as an ultimatum for use against the inner planets, capable of releasing an ultra-powerful extrasolar biotoxin that in all likelihood would cascade into a planetary extinction level event. In the subsequent weeks, UN and MCR naval forces redeployed the majority of their fleets to defend the home planets, positioning over 1,000 ships to cover every major orbit and target vector windows from a weaponized protomolecule launch contingency defense posture. This allowed the Free Navy unrestricted access to a substantial portion of asteroid belt orbits over the next 36 months, harvesting and launching over 180 large asteroids ranging in sizes of 25 to 40 meters from frigates and work tenders. 60 smaller meteors from 5 to 15 meters targeted the thinner Martian atmosphere by utilizing smaller and abundant fusion drives removed from skiffs and maintenance tugs and attached directly onto the rocks, set to auto-launch or by remotely triggered thrust burns. Each asteroid intercepted by the UN-MCR and MCRN created hundreds of additional smaller fragments, forming a meteorite debris field surrounding Earth's gravity well with over 200,000 orbiting rubble rocks. Thus, it became extremely difficult and time-intensive for orbit defenses combined with naval forces to neutralize and ascertain impact threat levels for every individual fragment, containing the majority of coalition warships guarding the interplanetary orbits. Meanwhile, defense networks achieve high intercept rates with a 92% hit ratio, allowing only 19 debris-sized meteorites striking landfall over the span of a year, successfully targeting nearly 250 incoming asteroids, of which 10 were covered in advanced stealth composite layers, with only 3 total large impacts attributed to that of stealth technology, before which coalition naval forces were not alerted to the extremely unlikely multi-threat contingencies merging together for the bombardment of Earth unfolding through the last 3 seasons of the Expanse. For more Expanse episodes, including a library of some 200 plus sci-fi video expeditions, check out the channel content and hit the subscribe and bell button for future productions. Also, much mahalos to those watching whose interaction and views is immensely appreciated. I absolutely read every comment and highly encourage and welcome feedback. And once again to everyone, thank you so much for watching. Tini washi scoot rasanate saseye de kain take gutu show exten copain zscribe unyam sane.
Silent J, I told you this was never gonna work.
Hey, girl, nerd troll, not you again.